Admit it, the moment someone leans in and says, "You did not hear this from me," you lean in too. We all swear we hate gossip. We call it petty, toxic, beneath us, and then we spend hours doing it about coworkers, exes, neighbors, celebrities we have never met. There is a small shame in it, a sense that a better person would rise above. But the pull to know who did what to whom is not a character flaw you should have outgrown. It is one of the most powerful social tools your species ever evolved, the very thing that let a crowd of near strangers become a tribe. So why does talking about other people feel both so wrong and so impossible to stop? Here is what we are taught about gossip. It is the weapon of small minds. Idle, cruel, a habit of people with nothing better to do. We are told that the talk that matters is about ideas, and the talk about people is just noise, even a little poisonous. And so we feel a flicker of guilt every time we trade a story about someone who is not in the room. But look at what people actually do. In every office, every village, every family, on every continent, and in every century, and that story falls apart. Humans gossip constantly. Studies that quietly record ordinary conversation find that the great majority of it is social, about who is with whom, who behaved well, who let everyone down. It is not the exception to human talk. It is the main event. A behavior that universal and that relentless is not a vice a few weak people fall into. It is a feature, built deep, and to see what it is for, you have to ask what conversation was doing back when your ancestors first began to speak. There is a striking idea about why humans talk at all. Many primates hold their groups together by grooming, picking through each other's fur for hours, a slow, physical act that builds trust and calms tension. But grooming has a hard limit. You can only groom one other animal at a time, and there are only so many hours in a day. The anthropologist Robin Dunbar argued that as human groups grew larger, there were simply too many relationships to maintain one pair of hands at a time. Something had to replace the grooming. That something was talk. Language in this view is vocal grooming, a way to reach many people at once, to bond, to soothe, to stay woven into the group without ever laying a hand on anyone. And the content of that grooming, the thing we mostly use words for, is each other. Not the weather, not abstract ideas, people. Who is rising, who is falling, who is loyal, who is trouble. Gossip is not a corruption of language. By this account, it may be the very reason language exists. When you trade news about a friend's breakup or a manager's bad behavior, you are not wasting breath. You are doing, with words, the same thing another primate does with its fingers in a companion's fur. You are tending the invisible web of relationships that holds your world together, reaching far more people than any hands ever could. But gossip does something grooming never could, and this is where it earned its keep. In a band where survival depends on cooperation, you desperately need to know one thing about everyone around you. Can they be trusted? Who shares the meat and who hoards it? Who does their part and who lets others carry them? You cannot watch everyone yourself. But through gossip, the whole group becomes a single set of eyes. A person's reputation travels far faster than their actions, passed mouth to mouth until everyone knows. And that changes how people behave. The psychologists Matthew Feinberg and Rob Willer have shown that the simple knowledge that others are talking, that word will get around, makes people more honest and more generous. Gossip is not just chatter. It is a police force without police, a way to reward the good and punish the selfish using nothing but reputation. A cheat in a gossiping group cannot hide because the news outruns him. This is why gossip feels so urgent and so satisfying. Some old part of you understands that this information is not idle. It is a map of who is safe, a warning system for betrayal, a quiet ballot that decides who the group will lift up and who it will slowly freeze out. For 100,000 years, being spoken of well was a kind of wealth, and being spoken of badly could cost you everything. So if gossip is this finely tuned instrument, why does it so often feel toxic and out of control? Because, like every ancient tool, it was built for a world that no longer exists. Your gossip evolved for a group of maybe 150 people you actually knew, where every story was about someone you would see again, and where the reputation you spread had real consequences you could weigh. Now point that same machinery at the modern world. We gossip about celebrities we will never meet, strangers in the news, figures on a screen whose lives do not touch ours, and whom our words can never reward or punish. Social media takes the old urge to trade reputations and pours fuel on it, letting a story about one person reach millions in a single hour. The ancient tool still works perfectly. It is just aimed now at targets it was never designed to manage, at a scale it can no longer control. This is what the guilt around gossip is really pointing at, a powerful old tool firing in a world that has stretched it out of shape. The hunger to follow the lives of strangers, the pull of celebrity drama, the hours lost to other people's business online, none of that means you are shallow. It is the reputation tracker, built to keep a small band honest, running flat out in a world of millions it can never actually keep honest. And the cost is real. Aimed at someone you know, gossip can still protect and correct. Aimed at a stranger on a screen, it becomes pure consumption, or worse, a mob. The same machinery that once kept a cheat in line, now able to bury a person it will never meet, over a story it cannot check. The shame you feel is not because gossip is beneath you. It is because a tool meant for 150 trusted faces is now wired to the entire planet, and some part of you can feel that the old rules no longer hold. So the next time you catch yourself leaning in for a story you swore you did not care about, do not be so quick to call it a weakness. That hunger is one of the oldest and most useful things about you. It is the instinct that let your ancestors trust, cooperate, and survive in groups far larger than any other ape could manage, by weaving themselves together with words. You did not invent the urge to talk about other people, and you do not fail by feeling it. You inherited it from a world where knowing who could be trusted was a matter of life and death, and where the talk around the fire was how a scattering of individuals became a people. Gossip is not the noise around human connection. For most of our history, it was the connection.